Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again. Another reaction for guys. Take us, of course, to continue the journey of Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. This is Season 2, Episode 14. Of course, I will not know the title until I get into the episode. Last week's episode was really interesting because a number of you guys, on top of the fact that I had no idea and no clue what direction they were going with that episode, Simeon says, the number of you guys were commenting saying, I didn't even know this episode existed of Ultimate Alien. I didn't know this episode existed until you uploaded your video. I'm like, really? But then again, there's times where you watch shows when you're younger. If these people are commenting who watched the show when they was younger, airing on TV, sometimes you miss episodes and you didn't really know, like, if you missed one or whatever, like, you had no clue, because back then it was very different in terms of nowadays where streaming and easy to look up on Wikipedia and stuff, like episodes and all that kind of stuff. So kind of crazy and surprising there. But overall, I had a good time with the episode because I wasn't expecting the idea of one of those Xeno creatures that, of course, was associated with the hybrid and everything, and dealing with the DNA aliens and everything, and then turning basically the spider monkey world into basically DN aliens, essentially. And it was a really crazy concept. And people were commenting saying, well, they did a little bit of something like this in Alien Force. It's been a while, so I do forget, but the idea of, like, the entire planet, even though we didn't see the entire planet, but basically essentially the entire planet was being affected, or mostly was being affected by these DN alien, basically taking over all the monkeys there. And apparently the main monkey, who was basically like ultimate spider monkey in a sense in terms of his size, he apparently was controlling his own alien that was attached to him. Everybody else was under, the control of it. He wasn't. He was controlling it somehow. And then, of course, he got ate by a giant, like, shark thing or something that was on the planet. Crazy thing. It's basically an homage to the Dune sandworm, of course, but still a crazy concept nonetheless. And, of course, we had Eunice back in the episode as well. So a lot of really cool things in the episode itself. Like, just, like, wasn't sure where the hell the episode was going, and the direction it went, very surprising. So I'm curious where we go from here next, because we are getting closer and closer, even though still we got a good bit now in terms of Ultimate Alien, getting to Omniverse, which a lot of people are commenting saying, I'm just waiting for Omniverse at this point. So we'll see what happens when we get to that show, but I'm excited to still continue here with Ultimate Alien. So let's dive into it now, guys, to look at this episode. Let's go. What? Oh? I'm pausing in the intro here a little bit just to say, this is one of the more interesting intros I've seen in a while in terms of a Ben 10 episode, because literally we have no concept of what the hell's going on. Usually there's like a little bit of something else to give us an idea of what the episode's going to be. This random looking ship drops and this guy steps out. And that's it. Like really short and sweet to the point. Like, I will have to say, like, kind of interesting direction there, but let's see what happens. I didn't even notice that.
Having fun.
It's just a game. Why can't you just relax and have fun with it?
Because some of us take games
Julie.
seriously. Let's go.
Are you gonna play the game?
It wouldn't be too much trouble. There's no way we can lose. Against Ben, there's always a way.
The music's epic sounding. Brainstorm. Okay, brainstorm, so you can see the calculation. Godzilla, that's cool. How to get the ball in. Wow, this calculation's insane.
More than a straightforward puzzle.
This is really detailed.
Winning. It's what I do.
No,
It's what it...
Best 2 out of 3.
A previous Techadon had a weakness. A weakness for...
Oh, he was prepared. Come on, Kevin. Really? Doesn't even want... Okay. Is it gonna... Let's see if it does, though. There you go. Damn.
According to this, there are 2 miniature golf courses within 20 miles of here.
She's still thinking about the golf game. Come on.
I kind of thought we'd focus on the killer robot. Julie's super competitive.
Yes, she
She's
is.
a tennis pro. Of course she's super
okay, that makes
competitive.
more sense now.
But that summer riding around together with Grandpa and the Rust Bucket, you never seemed to take anything seriously, but
True.
then everything would always somehow work out for you in the end. You do take things seriously, and you work hard at what you do.
His approach is different. Oh,
You really want a car? I've got an idea.
what?
Not
What?
the Rust Bucket.
Oh, not the Rust Bucket. Come on.
The other ones were off the shelf. A standard battle robot anybody can buy.
What is it?
The
Okay.
robot we fought tonight was a custom job.
Holy shit. This one looks even more
I'll
badass.
take him down with Goop. I've got
Ben's
my own
underestimating
big
as always.
You may be big, but Raven is even bigger. The harder,
Rat, stop talking.
the harder they fall.
He had to finish it. He had to finish his sentence.
By that logic,
That poor person's car. Holy shit.
broke Mr. Smoothie.
You broke Mr. Smoothie? Oh no, shit, he's pissed.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something.
Techadon robot designed specifically to destroy me. Ophiuchus suplex
He's calling out the wrestling moves.
from the top rope.
From the top rope.
Body slam.
They should have been helping before this, but okay.
You couldn't find out who's sending them? It wasn't
I
in the
mean-
Techadon's memory?
Who
Custom
could it
job,
be?
remember?
I'm gonna find whoever ordered the hit.
Never
Good
happened.
luck.
It can't be done.
I mean, well,
Can't be done.
oh, it's the ship that landed. Okay, that makes more sense.
3-mile
I'm
radius,
stupid.
huh?
You can't get in. Ooh. It's making the next one. Oh, defense mechanism.
No problem.
Oh,
Ask Dad for a
just
car.
flying out. Okay.
Ready for graduation.
Oh, what's that bar? It's been a little bit since we've been here.
Did you hear that someone put a hit out on Ben?
Tough break for Tennyson.
You know.
Any clues to the perpetrator?
Call it off.
So it's
Couldn't
Volcanus.
Even if I wanted to. I'd head home and spend some quality time with Ben. Your last moments with him.
Couldn't help overhearing your situation.
God damn it, this guy.
You're missing all the action when Ben bites the big one. Ben Tennyson's gotten out of his share of impossible situations.
He really
before.
has, yes.
This is none of your business.
I need to see it.
I need a searchable
Make
effort.
sure.
Yeah, make sure.
What the hell? He's just running out. Okay, let's go. Will that work? What? That's crazy. It grabbed him while he's invisible. Yeah. Do something. Ultimate. I like seeing ultimate. That's so cool. I love it. Chase me. Chase me. Okay. No ultimate echo? No ultimate? What the say? Oh, okay. Thing is, it doesn't really care about either of you. Shit. Ultimate. I was waiting for the ultimate.
I keep changing form, but it still knows me. Something else.
Really?
It was targeting me through the Ultimatrix.
Okay.
No Ultimatrix, no target.
Get him! Tennyson is right there. He's right
Wait, he's gonna put it on him?
Kind of expected it to, I don't know, destroy you.
Maybe you should go back and demand a refund.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
We promised Julie another round of golf.
Her to drive. Okay.
Good drive.
Yep. And there you guys have it. That was season 2, episode 14 of Ultimate Alien. And of course, it was Volcanus. It was the Volcanus guy. Of course, he was the one who hired the Techadons. I think they pronounce that Techadons, but the robots basically. And the idea of like, okay, it's going to send this ship to the location or basically nearby the location of your target, and you basically hire whatever the place that creates these robots, or at least creates the machine that creates the robots, and it's going to continuously keep sending until the person is dead. It's sent to Ben. And I should have known when Wrath showed up that it was going to be somebody probably who is voiced by John DiMaggio, who voices Wrath, who's going to be probably the villain who sent the robots, sent the Techadons, because he doesn't show up all the time. John DiMaggio does not show up all the time in Ben 10. He voices Wrath. He's voiced a couple of characters, including Volcanus. So I'm like, it's probably somebody who is voiced by John DiMaggio. And I didn't remember that Volcanus is voiced by John DiMaggio until he showed up in the episode. I'm like, damn it. Okay, it's Volcanus. Because he's not that really of a menacing a character. He's a joke, essentially, now, because now you know that that giant suit he's in is not really, that's not him at all. Like, he's a baby, right? But he used that giant suit. And then, of course, Arjit's in the episode, too, which I'm not a fan of Arjit. People said, you're going to turn on Arjit, but I'm not seeing it. I'm not feeling it. I just don't like the character, but whatever. but he did help Gwen in that sense in terms of tricking Volcanus to go, because if he didn't, then they wouldn't have found a way to get out of the situation in terms of using like the kind of the mask or whatever that transformed to look like an Omnitrix or whatever, or an Ultimatrix kind of like symbol to then trick the Techadon to then go after Volcanus. And Ben wrapping up the Ultimatrix or whatever, I think I might have said Omnitrix while I was watching the episode, but the Ultimatrix and hiding it was smart, because the Techadon is basically there to kill and to fight. Well, if Ben's not fighting back and hiding the Ultimatrix, because that's what it was tracking. It wasn't tracking, because it was tracking Ben, but it was really tracking the actual like location of the Ultimatrix, and that makes sense because no one else has one, or at least, you know, there's, I guess, Eunice, essentially it could track Eunice if she was nearby, because she is a Trix, like she's in, you know, a Unitrix, but still, I don't know, I guess maybe it was basically programmed to the Ultimatrix, I guess. I'm not really sure, but anyways, it found Ben, and we had a couple variants of these robots, and it was pretty cool to see them, because we had seen them previously, and we had a whole episode kind of surrounding like the aftermath of fighting one, but now we have Techadons being basically sent out to specifically go after Ben. And as I mentioned in that kind of pause as we're getting into the episode with that little intro, and then boom, it cuts to the opening intro credits, I was like, interesting that they literally start the episode with that ship crashing in, and then this robot just comes out, not knowing really any context, and now we understand why, because literally it was a hired situation to where, you know, Volcanus is involved. Seeing Wrath in the episode is always great. I always love seeing Wrath, and I just love the dialogue that they give John DiMaggio to play with Wrath. It is so, so good. And Wrath is honestly one of the best aliens if they've ever introduced in the Ben 10 continuity that I've seen so far. I really enjoy Wrath. He's such a fun character, and it was so funny to see where the destruction of Mr. Smoothie, he was so angry. And of course he goes after, he's like, yeah, listen, let me tell you something. Like, he gets so into it. I love it so much, how much John DiMaggio gets into voicing Wrath. It just works so well for the character. I just love the anger and aggression. And what I really appreciate about the aliens in general of Ben 10 is there are some aliens that have such a unique personality and have a unique kind of addition to their, like, it brings more, what's the word? I'm trying to find the word, because it's been a long day. It's been a Friday, and I did an interview as well today, so it's been really chaotic. I do apologize. I'm trying to find the word. It's basically just adding more variety, kind of more of a tone, more of a uniqueness, essentially, to the show, because him turning into Brainstorm to figure out that calculation of how to hit the ball to get puff perfectly, that's the word, perfectly, not perfectly into the hole, and with a hole in one. And just the dialogue of Brainstorm is so unique, and it just stands out, because if Brainstorm was just another alien without that kind of really eccentric and really like just over the top language that he uses in terms of dialogue, it wouldn't be as interesting. So I like the fact there are some really interesting characters, like in terms of the aliens that Ben can use, like Wrath, that just change up the show, because literally Wrath, when he shows up, the show gets crazy. It gets over the top. When Brainstorm shows up, Brainstorm really calculates and tries to figure out a way to approach a battle, in this case, playing putt-putt. So that was interesting to see that. Seeing how they actually found a way to, because I was wondering, like, there's times where I'm thinking in the show, how are they going to wrap this up? Because the Techadons are constantly going after Ben. If they destroy this third one, the fourth one's just going to show up in a bit anyways. So the idea of, like, not fighting at all, tricking Volcanus, and then having it go after, I don't know. I'm going to assume that Volcanus somehow gets out of it. He's not going to kill off the character. I could be wrong, but I'm like, they could kill off the character here. They could literally kill off Volcanus right now if they wanted to, because now they've introduced an element to where the Techadon is going to continuously follow it, and I don't think Volcanus is going to get out of this, unless he gets out of his suit and runs away, and then the suit gets destroyed, and then the Techadon just kind of stands. Because now it has no longer to track anybody, because the Techadon is now far away enough from Ben that if Ben ever goes near it again, then it would reactivate, but you get my point. So, interesting element there. I really want to talk about Julie, because we haven't seen Julie in a bit, and we've seen her a bit in Ultimate Alien, but not much. But she is so competitive, and then they explain, because, you know, she's in tennis and everything, so she is very competitive. She was like, she didn't care. Yeah, she went after the Techadon for a second with her golf club, but thankfully Gwen stopped her. But she just wanted to do the rematch, because she was so frustrated that Ben somehow found a way to beat her and Gwen when they were teaming up, essentially, with the putt-putt thing. So, overall, this was an interesting episode, for sure. And I think the idea of having a villain hire the Techadon kind of machine to keep sending out robots to go after Ben, it makes sense that Volcanus did it. I mean, there was a couple of options. 'Cause I was thinking too, because they introduced in the last episode, like, well, not reintroduced, but reintroduced that kind of king character. And I'm thinking, well, wasn't this guy that was working with Simeon that kind of like, because Simeon sold some items like those kind of DNA kind of weapons or whatever that they were using in Alien Force. I'm thinking, well, maybe he's involved somehow. But no, it makes sense. It's a John DiMaggio character because he's here playing Wrath, so it kind of makes sense. And of course, Volcanus is the one to do it because Volcanus has had many runs in with Ben, Kevin, and Gwen, and so it makes sense that, okay, he would find a way. I didn't know he was rich. I don't remember ever that being a thing, a part of his character, that he'd be the one to send and buy this machine. Never would have thought of that, but I thought it was interesting nonetheless to see that, you know, this concept was kind of being played out, because I was thinking if it's not Volcanus when it was revealed, or if I'm thinking it could be some new character, because Ben is so well known in the galaxy that realistically it could have been anybody that was going after Ben. But no, Volcanus. So overall, like I said, I had a good time with the episode. I can't wait to see what happens next week. And yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying the show. It's fun, and you just never know what to expect, because like last week's episode, didn't expect one bit we would be going back to DNA aliens, but here we are. You know, they were back again in an episode. And the idea of like, okay, we're going to take the Techadons, that robot we saw briefly in that one episode back in Alien Force, we're going to bring that back into the fold, and this concept of like, it's a machine that will constantly send out new ones after the last one's defeated, and so now you have to find a new way to defeat the new one, because it's remembered what happened to the last one. So like the idea of like constantly having to find ways to defeat it. And then of course, ultimately the way to defeat it is to not fight it at all, to trick it. Because it's not really smart, as Kevin has pointed out. It's not smart. It's a killing machine. It ain't smart, though. So, overall, interesting stuff. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about this episode of Ultimately. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys so much for supporting the videos. Peace out.